ねえ、寒いしもう一度。もう一度。
A romance anime is kind of like the forbidden fruit. The moment you get a taste of a good romantic show, you'll develop a strange craving that will make you watch more romantic anime, and no matter how many shows you watch, you won't be satisfied. Yeah, it's pretty much an addiction if you ask me, but damn if it isn't a good one. So for my fellow enthusiasts of the romantic genre, I've compiled a list of 10 shows that will tug at your heartstrings like nothing else. But before we start, don't forget to smash that subscribe button so we can keep bringing you more videos like this one. Now let's get on with it. At number 10, we have a show that's not only extremely popular, but also really controversial. I'm talking about the 2017 romantic drama Scum's Wish. The show is about Hanabi and Mugi, both of whom are in love with people they can never hope to be with. To ease their pain, they decide to date each other in the most casual way possible. But as you can imagine, things get complicated pretty soon. Now, the plot itself is unique, but what makes this show special is its ability to make these characters look real. Their choices, actions, and even emotions are extremely honest and realistic. There are a lot of characters here, and almost all of them have their own development arcs which gets you invested in their fate. It's not a show about the joys of love. Instead, it deals with the grief, lust, and jealousy, all of which accompany any romance. It's truly a special kind of anime and you should give it a try. Moving on, we have The Pet Girl of Sakurasou at number 9. This rom-com is about a clumsy high school boy Sorata who's forced to live in the infamous Sakurasou dormitory. Sorata lives with some very talented people who are borderline eccentric to say the least. The show has all the usual rom-com characters. There's a wild senpai, a playboy male lead, a shut-in programmer, and even a careless sensei. But unlike most shows, this one allows these characters to grow, which pushes the story forward. At the heart of it is a romantic triangle involving Sorata, his classmate Nanami, and a child prodigy Mishiro who's just way too cute. The anime shows the struggle of these characters as they try to find love while chasing their dreams. Despite its chill vibe, it's a mature show which sucks you in from the very first episode. At number 8, we have the 2021 blockbuster Horimiya. This touching romantic comedy is about Hori, who pretends to be a perfect girl at school, but she is a total airhead at home. Due to a rather strange turn of events, she finds out that her quiet and shy classmate Izumi also has a hidden side. One where he has more tattoos than a 100-year-old Yakuza member. They become friends and eventually develop feelings for each other. But unlike most romantic anime, they don't wait 3 seasons to have their first kiss. Instead, they act like teenage couples who are awkward in their relationship but still feel confident about each other. This leads to a rare, fast-paced romance that's both charming and heartwarming at the same time. Studio Sunrise has also paid a lot of attention to the animation, which you can't help but appreciate every episode. The story isn't groundbreaking and not much happens in the first season, but even with this laid-back story, the anime makes you understand the joy of a good romance. Moving on from the everyday romance of Horimiya, we take a look at a love story that blooms in a world of gods and spirits. I'm of course talking about the OG anime Spice and Wolf, which sits at number 7 on our list. This show came out all the way back in 2008, and even still it has really good animation, which gives this show a lot of character. Speaking of character, it tells the story of a merchant named Lawrence who finds the mythical goddess Hollow. This odd duo travels the country together as Lawrence buys goods from one town to sell them in another. He hides Hollow's identity since they're living in a medieval country, and if you know anything about medieval societies, you'd know that people were quite fond of getting their pitchforks out to deal with freshly caught witches. There aren't many side characters here, so the show pretty much depends on the interaction between Lawrence and Hollow. They both know that they aren't compatible with each other, but by the end of their adventure, they're both madly in love, and this gives the show a satisfactory ending. This anime has a lot to offer, and fans of pretty much every genre will find something to cherish here, which makes this one a must-watch. At number 6, we have Kids on the Slope. This is another show that often stays under the radar of most anime fans, which is a crime since it's one of the most honest takes on teenage romance. Set in 1960s Japan, this anime tells the story of kids growing up and learning some of the harsh realities and beautiful moments that come with time. Music is made and friendships are strengthened. The realities of love are examined in a very real and sometimes painful way. The cast is pretty small and no time is wasted. In every episode, characters are dealing with something new, and this setting helps in the development of romantic ties. The anime even shows us the emotional aspects of a genuine bromance, which is something I haven't seen in any other anime. Kids on the Slope really is like a breath of fresh air in the congested world of romance anime. But then again, it's not a surprise, since it's made by the same people who gave us hits like Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop. From the dramatic setting of Kids on the Slope, we go to the humour-infused romance of Maid Sama, which takes the number 5 spot on our list. This is another old classic that first aired 12 years ago. The show tells the story of Misaki, who's a badass student council president. She is a model student who keeps every other student in line. But behind her hardcore appearance, she actually works in a maid cafe to make some money for her family. One day, the hottest guy in her school, and probably the entire world, Yusui, finds out her secret and uses it to stay close to her. What starts as innocent teasing turns into a classic romance between these two characters. There is so much to like about this anime. From its cool character design to its amazing MC, the show doesn't miss at all. The only bad thing here is we only got to see one season of this great romance. At number 4 on our list, we have another high school romance, Oregairu. This one, however, not only takes a more serious tone, but also gives us a satisfactory ending. It also has, in my opinion, the best MC in the world of romance anime. Now, before you start dragging me into the street for this bold claim, just listen to my reasoning. The protagonist Kaguya is not a cool guy. There is nothing special about him. In fact, people even make fun of him because of his dead eyes and shady tactics. But this is exactly why he's so special. Despite not being so charming, he wows us with his honesty and caring nature. He isn't a saint, but he's always there for you if you ask. His character development is insane over the course of the 3 seasons, but it's matched by the feelings that develop between him and our female leads. What I really love about this anime is that without using any action scenes, it creates stressful events that keep you invested all the time. I am a hardcore fan of this anime, but that's probably because I grew up with its characters. Moving on, we have the fantasy romance Fruit Basket at number 3 on our list. But just to make sure it's clear, we're talking about the latest version of this show. Now, this is one of the most iconic romantic shows of the last 2 decades, and for good reasoning. It's freaking amazing. Even in its fantasy setting, we can actually relate with every single one of its characters, and oh boy, there are quite a lot of them. The story revolves around a high school girl, Toru, whose character takes a lot of inspiration from Cinderella. She's a sweet girl who's lived a rough life, but she still stays optimistic. She's living in a tent when the members of the famous Suma family allow her to stay at their place. The show tells the story of how Toru deals with the secrets of the Suma household. She helps these mysterious people and also develops a romantic connection that comes to a great end. This anime has got a lot going for it. It has jaw-dropping animation, an epic tale, and some really believable characters who make us care about them. So stop wasting your time with cliched garbage and check this one out if you're looking for something special. At number 2 on our list, we have the crowd favourite Kaguya-sama Love is War. This show needs no introduction as it's one of the most watched anime of this decade. Hell, Season 3 is currently sitting at the top of my anime list, beating FMA in the process, which is insane. But if by some slim chance you're one of those people who hasn't watched it yet, then just go watch it, man. It's simply awesome. It's almost impossible to find a fault in this romantic comedy, which is not only extremely funny, but also full of cute romantic moments. It's basically the story of Miyuku and Kaguya who are in love with each other but don't want to confess. So they end up plotting schemes to make the other one confess, and these elaborate schemes are downright hilarious. This battle of wits is helped by a big cast of some really interesting characters who bring a lot of charm to this show. I like this show for its romance, but I love it even more for its comedy, which makes you laugh like a maniac without being edgy. So if you're looking to watch a romance, comedy, or even just a great anime in general, this should be at the top of your list. Now, before we talk about the number 1 anime on our list, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss future videos. The anime at the number 1 spot on our list is Clannad, which is not really a show but an experience. What I mean by that is that this anime is bound to leave a really big impact on you. Now, it starts off like any other high school rom-com where our protagonist Tomoya meets a lot of beautiful girls as he tries to figure out his life. While the show looks like a harem anime at first, for Tomoya there's only one girl that matters. She is one of the best female leads in anime, and she steals the attention of all the other girls, which is remarkable considering how great every one of these characters is. As love blooms between these two, we see them grow as people too. Now, the first season is great, but it's the second season that truly hits hard. I've seen some of the toughest men cry after watching this show because it truly deals with the painful side of love. And even though it's heartbreaking at times, by the end you're glad that you were lucky enough to experience it.